If you're brand new to Tana but you want to jump straight ahead into building something useful, this video is for you. Today I'll show you how to build a simple yet effective task management system so that you can start organizing your to-dos in Tana. We will be using the absolute essential features of Tana, which means that you can set this up in a matter of minutes, even if you've never used Tana before. Hi there, my name is Santi, and together with Nick, we run this YouTube channel called Tana Central. We also have a free community all about Tana that you can join to continue learning Tana with us. We have video guides, a bunch of cool resources, so you can join that for free with the link in the description. Now in this video, like I mentioned, we're going to take a look at a task management system, and it's built upon a framework that I built called TIL, T-I-L, Tasks in Lists. It looks something like this. Here we have a list of several tasks. We are gonna select the ones that we want to prioritize, like this one, and this one, and with the shortcut we can move them up to the list of today. Then once we're ready, we can organize to prioritize the most important things at the top and the least important things towards the bottom. And as we go through the day, we can start checking them off. And that's the core principle of how it works. The thing is that over the years, I've tried so many apps on task management. I made tutorials on them as well, and I built custom solutions on a bunch of different tools, but it all comes down to keeping it simple, and this methodology that I use I think works extremely well, and it works so well in Tana because you can get going straight away, but with the power of Tana you can really customize it to make it your own over time as you get more advanced with Tana. So it's a really cool system and I really hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it. So by default you're gonna probably be sent to your daily page, which by the way you can access by clicking in here. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the workspace. So that's what you find when you click in the icon right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to name right here in this new bullet point, we're just going to type task management or to do or however you want to phrase it. Now, when you click on this circle right here, you're going to be able to zoom into it. That is one of the cool things about Tana, and you can use the arrow back to go back if you need to. And here's where I'm going to show you how everything works. So to get started, I'm going to paste in here some example tasks, some example to-dos. These are just kind of ridiculous examples that AI helped me do. So everything at the top you should do first, and everything at the bottom you should do last. That's essentially the core principle of all of this. So the cool thing about Tana is that you can literally drag and drop. It's so nice. It's so satisfying. It just works. And what's so cool about this is that, of course, now you understand that everything that's at the top, this is the top task that you should work on. This is the second one, third, and so on. But you don't need to number things. All that matters is the order in which you position the tasks. Now, like I just showed you, you can use the mouse to drag and drop, but what I prefer is actually using the shortcut. So in here, you're going to see an icon of a keyboard, and this is going to open on the right side. You can see that here we have the shortcut move up and move down, and that I use like crazy. So good. Alt Shift up and Alt Shift down arrow. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the shortcut to reorganize things as we wish. We can put that at the top, we can go down and so on. And you know what, just to show you really for visuals is that if I select everything with Control A, I can press the shortcut Control Enter. You can see that a box appears right here. If I press Control Enter again, you're going to see it marks it all as done. And if I press it again, Control Enter, it's going to get rid of the checkbox. So I do like having the checkbox for tasks just because it looks more like a task. So with the shortcuts that we learned so far, now we have these nice looking checkboxes, and with Alt Shift up and Alt Shift down, we can reorganize things nicely like that. And we can also use down arrow and up arrow to just go to the one that we want to go. And let's say this one right here, I can just move all the way up. But that's how we can very nicely just use the shortcuts and organize tasks in the way that we want to fulfill them. So first this one, then this one, then this one, and you get the idea, right? Now, okay, that is a very simple way in which you can keep track of essentially a checklist, but you can do it for all of your tasks. Now, the problem, of course, is that the list gets very long. And one of the principles of task management is that you want to keep things manageable. You want to keep things not overwhelming. So for now, I'm going to get rid of all of this, and I'll show you the categories that I usually have to keep things more manageable. So the way that I like organizing my task is in this following list: today, up next, later, and done. Now, these are the really simple ones. You can add some more stuff and you can get really crazy later if you want to manage projects and so on. But some other ones that you could add if you want is waiting. We have inbox and we have maybe. So maybe being tasks that you're not sure if you're going to do. Inbox, maybe some tasks that you add them in here first and then categorize where they belong. And waiting are maybe tasks that you are waiting for someone to do something so that you can continue with the task. But right now, we're just going to keep it simple. I'm just going to delete this. You can right click, delete, or you can just select them and use the shortcut Control Shift Delete, like so. Okay, cool. We have this list, and inside of each one of these, we can add tasks. So here we have, I don't know, shower, buy milk, and so on. You can see that I expanded this thing. So whenever you expand, you can have something inside of there. You can also press enter, tab, or shift tab brings you back, tab brings you forward like that. And now this has a sub bullet point inside of it. It's technically called a node, like so, but bullet points the same. So I'm just going to call them bullet points. So there we go. Here we have our tasks. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring back our long list of tasks just to show you. So yeah, I just pasted them. I had them saved somewhere else. And here we have a bunch of tasks, but of course we don't want to complete them all today. So the categories in here, the way that I use them is today is anything that I want to achieve only today. It should be like maybe 3, maybe a couple more tasks, depending on how specific you are with your tasks, but not too many. You want to keep it manageable. Then up next are things that you probably want to do maybe tomorrow, or if you do have time, maybe you could move it up to today, and later things that you're going to get to later down the line. And done is of course things that are completed, right? Now, what we're going to do in here is we don't want to have so many tasks here at the top. So maybe we want to manage the most important ones. I'm going to bring this one up, and we have maybe 3 tasks that we want to do for today. Everything else, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it all. I'm just dragging, clicking and dragging. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it. So Control X, like you would do in any simple software. And now you can paste in here. As you can see, first I expanded this. That is important so that it goes underneath this one. And now paste. And now everything is in up next. And maybe I don't want to have so many things in up next either. I can do the same process by cutting this and then pasting it in later, right? So later is where I usually have most of my tasks. If I collapse all of this, I can see it like that. By the way, it's also nice to know that you also have these shortcuts. You can see Control down arrow is to expand it and Control up arrow is to collapse it. So that works for any list right here. And the other thing is that you can also, instead of having to expand it, you can also zoom into it, right? And you can go back by clicking here or here, or you could even press Control. And then as you click, that's going to open it in the sidebar like that. Let me just show you that again. So you press Control click, it's going to appear right there, which is pretty nice as well. But I'm going to show you something that I like even more than that. Is just to show you what is possible here. Now, if I expand all of these ones, you will notice that, okay, cool. Let's say I completed everything for today. I've been working on today. I completed everything. Now I go to up next, things that I maybe had planned for tomorrow, but I can get to today. I can be like, you know what, this one, by pressing Control and clicking, you can select different ones like that. And then by using our shortcut Alt, Shift, Up, you can bring them up like that. That is super cool. It's very dynamic, very nice. And you can complete them like that and so on, right? I can organize things further, being like, okay, I want to bring these ones up. And then I want to complete these ones for today, like so. That kind of stuff, right? So you'll notice that one of the problems already here is that things are starting to get cluttered, right? We have so many dones. And the thing is that this whole system, this today, is just a title, which means that tomorrow you're going to want to go to the list of today. You know what I mean? Like this is not a dynamic thing that updates it by itself. So yeah, when tomorrow comes around, it's going to be today. So you don't want to have all of this clutter constantly there of all of your done tasks. So that is why I have the category done, right? So if I expand that, what I usually do is at the end of the day, I can just cut this and paste it in here. Now, there's more advanced ways. I'm just kind of showing you the very simple system that you can implement today, like literally in 2 minutes. In part 2, I'll show you some cooler stuff. But yeah, that's essentially how it works. Every time that you have something completed, you just cut it, go to done, enter to make some room, and then paste it. And that's it, right? And you can use the shortcuts again to just move things around. So if we grab a couple of these, I can move them up. And then it can be like this one, and this one. I want to do today. And there you go. And that's how you can prioritize things and keep everything organized. Now, this is one of the views. This is called the list view. If you put your cursor at the very top in here where it says task management, I'm going to do Control K, and this is going to open a bunch of different features that you can act on this particular page. So what we're going to do is we're going to type view as, and then the one that I highly recommend is side menu. I love this one. It's so good. If you click on that or press enter, either way, you're going to see that everything changes. And now we have our categories on the left side and our tasks on the right side. If you want to change the name of something, you just change it here and it changes there as well. But one of the things that I do like doing here is essentially just relying on the cut and paste system. So maybe grab these ones, Control X, and then paste it like that. Like cutting and pasting works really well in here. But if you do like the shortcuts, you can go back by pressing Control K or Command K and then view as list. And that will take you back to this view right here, where you can rely a little bit more on the shortcuts, which is quite nice. It just really depends on your taste. So that's the DM, and we can just go back, view as side menu, enter, and we're back here. So yeah, we have too many tasks in here. We're just going to bring them down to later and so on. And that's how we can remain everything organized. This one's done. And then once I want to put it here, I just paste it like so, right? So hopefully that makes sense. We cleared today, and that's how you can keep track of all of your to-dos. Now, this system is already, in my opinion, works really well. But one of the things that you can get more advanced with is that instead of having to check and then manually have to cut it and paste it into done, there's ways in which you can use something called commands so that when you press a button, several things can happen at once. For instance, you can check it off as done, and you can also move it to the list done, both in one click. Those are kind of the advanced features that we can get into with Tana. And then beyond that, we can have like really cool filters to see how many tasks were completed today versus yesterday versus the day before. And you can really have a better understanding of your task management system. And of course, later you can start building like categories for projects or different contexts under which you want to see different tasks, especially as you get more tasks, like those features get extremely powerful. So we're going to start exploring a little bit of that in part 2. But for part 2, you're actually going to need to have a little bit of an understanding of some core features in Tana, like super tags and fields. Now, the best way to really learn this is you can go to the link in the description and you can join our free community. We have this free course called Tana Quick Start. And this one is really going to help you catch up to speed with the fundamentals of Tana. We have a very concise explanation of super tags and fields, and that is really going to help you catch up to speed so that when we release part 2 of this video that you're watching here, this is going to help you understand what's going on with things. And if you do want to go deeper, we also offer our comprehensive course Tana 1 with everything you need to master Tana. Or if you're not ready to commit yet, we have Tana 1 Lite, which is a smaller version of the same course. But like I said, for the next video, you can just get started with Tana Quick Start, and that is going to give you a starting point to really know what's happening with Tana and how you can make the most out of these really cool features. Now, with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Looking forward to seeing you in part 2, and all the links that I mentioned are in the description so that you can catch up to speed to make the most out of part 2. I'll see you there. Bye-bye.